So Dmitry Bivol clearly hadn't read the script yesterday and beat Canelo Alvarez on points. Now, I thought that was a very unlikely outcome, as I did say, in this program last week. But that's exactly what happened. And so the Canelo roadshow comes crashing down to ground. Now, when I say the script, I think what we all expected was for him to beat Bivol and then maybe Berbatov and to move through the light heavies as he had done through the super middles. Before the fight, a lot of the talk from Canelo himself as well was about Usyk, this idea of Usyk fighting at heavyweight at 201 pounds, 1 pound above the cruiserweight limit, because let's not forget as well, Canelo had projected forward after beating Caleb Plant into the cruiserweight division. He had a fight lined up with Ilunga Makabu, which then fell through, and he concentrated on the light heavies. But we were thinking, how high could he go? Move through light heavy, move through cruiser, and look at the Usyk rematch. Now, as I say, Bivol hadn't read the script and, put in a very accomplished performance, played very well to his strengths, a great example of calm, collected boxing, and looked very relaxed in there, and said afterwards, he felt great, he enjoyed himself, he had fun. So he really upset the apple cart. It wasn't really a close fight, although interestingly, going into the last round, if you look at back on the judges' scorecard, he had to win the last round to win the fight. He was 1 point ahead going into round 12. So if Canelo had won that round, it would have been a draw. That's not the way I saw the fight play out, and I'm sure a lot of other people didn't, and it will be forgotten about. But really, there was just 2 rounds between them in the fight. If you look at the 115, 113 scorecards returned by all the judges, and all 3 of them had Bivol only 1 point up going into the 12th. But anyway, that's history now. So we look at where Canelo goes next. Now, that was what we were going to do in here. And as I say, with Bivol not reading the script, I can't talk about the possibilities of the Usyks, the cruiserweights and all that sort of thing. We're crashing back down to earth. Canelo said immediately the Bivol rematch is what he wants. The rematch clause is in the contract. And, being the natural competitor he is, that does seem to be the way he's going to go. On first looking at it, despite what I said about the scorecards, it's showing such a close fight. I don't think it was a close fight. I think Bivol had his number. He like I say, he boxed brilliantly. He wouldn't box Canelo's fight. He dictated the pace. He boxed his own fight. He had a reply for everything Canelo did. So really, it's hard to see how Canelo, surmounts that. That was a fairly one-sided fight to me. Not a fight that calls for an immediate rematch because the result, as I say, I thought was fairly conclusive. But that's what Canelo wants. But how he will do that, how he will overcome that, is the interesting thing. Funnily enough, for me, that Canelo becoming human again, Canelo coming crashing down a bit to earth, makes the Golovkin fight a lot more interesting. Because initially, we were thinking, Canelo's going to come back down, drag Golovkin up to super middle. He's 40 years old. The wear and tear was starting to show in the Murata fight, for me and a few others. So, I thought, I don't know if I really want to see that. A prime sort of, almost invincible Canelo going up against a slightly shot-worn Golovkin out of his natural weight division didn't seem to me an attractive prospect, even though the name value of the fight meant that, DAZN and the broadcasters were pushing for it. But now I think that is more attractive. After that performance from Canelo, like I say, they may well gel better together than we would have thought. And also, the Benavidez fight, the Jamal Charlo fight, they become more interested, down at what is probably his natural weight now, Canelo, rather than going up into light heavies, to be applauded for taking that challenge. But I don't think, anybody would say, you did go that far, and brilliant for taking that challenge. It was maybe a step too far. Go down and have some defences at super middle, and like I say, the Benavidez, the Charlos, the Golovkins, and now really more attractive fights. Than this constantly aiming higher and higher. So we'll see what he does. I think the natural competitor in Canelo will definitely want the rematch. But when that pain of that defeat has subsided a little bit, he may look at it and think, well, there's big money in Golovkin. Now more people are going to want to see that fight, and maybe we'll leave Bivol on the back burner for a while, but we shall see. Is it going to be the natural competitor? Is it going to be the dollars that win out? I don't know, but he's to be applauded for making that big jump. It was a good fight. It was an amazing performance from Bivol, and let's not forget as well, I know we're all talking about Canelo losing, but Bivol won. Bivol won that fight. He made it his fight. It was a great example of a sort of technical boxing, of what he does best, and he's really got to be applauded for that. The man's really arrived. He's got the international name recognition now, so let's see if he can go on, after the Berbatov Joe Smith Jr. fight, and fight the winner of that and unify the light heavyweight division. That'd be a great thing to see. So well done, Bivol. Let's see where Canelo goes next. I would say Golovkin, but I think the competitor in him may take Bivol again. Let's see.